What's up, everybody? My name is Walter Reyes, and I'm here today with Diego Torres Palma.
That's me.
Real estate developer, and we're in Bell, California, real close to where I grew up. I grew up in Cudahy, right next door. So, man, thank you for bringing a cool little business to Bell.
Hey, we're trying, brother. Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
Now, this is a nice establishment here. How big is this place, by the way?
This building is actually 7,000 square feet. It was empty for about 12 years. Used to be the old bakery, if you remember.
Yeah.
And then was used as a food bank by the city for a little while.
For how long?
I don't know. I just know it was empty for 12 years.
I had no clue that it was being used for that.
Yeah. When we first got it, there was actually food bank signs right under this mezzanine. And it was like City of Bell Food Bank. But honestly, and there was probably 1,000 solo cups in the front.
Oh, so they partied too.
All the mice were partying in those boxes.
Oh, no. There was rat poop in there, which reminds me that I could fit maybe I would say about 10 of the apartments that I grew up in here.
It's big.
This is huge.
It's big.
This is huge. I grew up in a little small, maybe 750 square foot, 3-bedroom apartment. You know, I don't know how they fit that
That's
in
tight.
there, but
Yeah.
it's tight.
That's tight. Yeah.
So you can fit a bunch of those in here. 10 of them, like I said, 7,000 square feet. That's significant.
Yeah.
Look, man, I wanted to talk to you because I just recently ran into you and into this business. We have, I don't know if she's even your friend. You know Maria by chance? The one that tagged us or tagged me in your post? No?
I don't know
She's
her.
just a drinker.
Okay.
She's like a drinker.
Pumped for the brewery.
You know?
Yeah.
She's excited for the brewery, which, by the way, this is Border X Brewery that's coming here to Pine and Gage in Bell, California. And I think that's an amazing thing on multiple levels. Off camera, we were talking earlier. And one of the reasons that I wanted to talk to you personally is because this community needs more exposure, in my opinion, to people like yourself. One is just, a little backtrack. Psychology is everything to me. Like, we were talking about that as well.
Yeah.
Psychology, it drives everything. It drives action. It drives everything in this world is psychology based, and based on your psychology, based on your belief system, that determines what actions you're going to take. And in this community, having been a product of it, I understand personally that a lot of the mindset required to take a venture like this, or even talked about courage earlier. This community doesn't really have it. They don't get presented with it, and that's why I wanted to talk to you, because if there's anything that just to start off, what advice would you give these kids in the community? Like, I focus on the kids.
Yeah.
It's the future, right?
Yeah.
What would you tell them as an entrepreneur, as a real estate developer? What would be one of the main things that you would tell them to enable them to maybe one day take a shot like this, like you did?
There's a couple things. So I grew up in Springfield, Massachusetts. Shout out to Springfield, birthplace of basketball. Similar community. And I actually believe that it's the communities like this that they already have it. They just don't know they have it. Mm-hmm. Because the thing is, life has presented so many challenges to these people, right? Whether it's hardships financially, whether it's not being brought up in the environment, let's say, in their head is ideal. To me, those are all gifts. All that adversity that you're dealing with every day, that's a gift. All that diversity that you're dealing with on a daily basis that you're seeing at school, that's mega. That's a gift. There's no diversity in corporate America.
That's true.
If you come from one of these communities and you can speak to me as a Latino or me as a white person or me as an African American, that's bonus. Like, you're an anomaly, because a lot of people can't relate to that. And so I think it's just a way of thinking about it. If I grew up in a city like this, a community like this, you already have advantage just for being born in a community or being brought up in something like this.
What can be extracted from a community like this and then going into the business world, you feel? Like, what's one of the things that kind of helped to guide that thought? Because I know you just said it, and I guarantee you there's people still not able to process what that even means.
Yeah.
Because to them, it's just day to day. It's brown skin after brown skin. It's just, that's predominantly what this community is. What can they extract from here and take it out into the real world?
I've learned this for myself. It's like, and it took me a while to learn this. To me, I'm like a tropical flower. With my friends, we have this joke, like, oh, Diego's a tropical flower, which means I can only really bloom and be the brightest and the best I can be in certain environments. And so I realized that when I was probably in my mid-20s. And so I just had to go out and find that environment. But the reality is, the reason I'm like that is because I grew up in areas like this. And so it's like everyone has their own uniqueness in your way. You might not, just because you grew up here and you're not thriving here, doesn't mean you can't thrive in San Francisco or in Boston or New York City and doing something completely out of what you didn't think.
Yeah.
So the way I look at it is everyone has their gifts. They just need to go find the place to do it. That's it. And so it's up to you to hustle, grind, work, be rejected, fail a couple times. And then you're like, oh, I'm pretty good at this all of a sudden.
Yeah. I even think it's possible to leave this community and come back
Totally.
and be successful.
Yeah.
And show how to be successful, which is, kind of like my ambition here is throughout my growing up, throughout my journey, I keep wanting to come back here because, it took me a long time to wake up. It took me a long time to discover words like mindset and subconscious mind and, ambition and discipline even. The discipline I know is just listen to my parents. Otherwise, a belt, a chancla, whatever. Otherwise. That's the discipline I learned. But when you're out in the real world, self-discipline is the key.